What's going on, JTLive, and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories. This series, of course, we go through everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United, and we have a little talk about it. And there's only one thing on everyone's minds. Yes, I've waited a few hours to record. This is currently 5 a.m. I had a little nap. I had a little thought. You're thinking, why are you wearing the same clothes as yesterday, James, if you had a little nap? Well, I didn't really have much choice in the matter. I was absolutely exhausted. I went and had a little bit of food. I had a couple of hours where I just conked out. And I wanted to let the dust settle a little bit before I came out and made this video. Because, listen, we're all absolutely ecstatic over that win that we got over Leicester yesterday. Absolutely ecstatic. But I wanted to wait a few hours, let the dust settle, reevaluate my thoughts with a clear head. You know, usually I come on here with emotions at times. Maybe I'm happy, maybe I'm sad, maybe I'm angry, maybe I'm whatever, but I wanted to evaluate it with a nice clear perspective. And we're going to be sitting down this morning talking about the day before, the day that preceded us, or more the night that preceded us, and what a night it was. Was the performance as impressive as we all thought it was? Should we have been as happy as we all were? Did we play as well as we thought? Were Leicester as bad as we thought, or were we just too good? Those are the questions that are on everybody's lips right now, and you're probably waking up this morning thinking, where do we go from here? Because we do still sit 11 points behind Leicester despite beating them. We do still sit way off Ipswich with 2 games in hand that they have. If they do win those, they will actually go above Leicester now. So despite the fact that we've beaten both Ipswich and Leicester, we do still sit a comfortable chunk away from the top 2 spaces of the table. Now, the first thing I want to talk about yesterday is Leicester. An unformidable task, people said, or an unformidable side. You know, a task which people were saying is too big for Leeds United, that is too big for any club to dismantle. People are thinking that they're going to go the rest of the season unbeaten. And they turned up yesterday probably expecting to do the same thing. I feel like they disrespected us a little bit. And if there's one thing you don't do, is disrespect a side like Leeds United. Because if you disrespect a side like Leeds United, if you disrespect a monumental, colossus, giant of a football club like Leeds United, then you're going to get absolutely mauled. You're going to get embarrassed. It's not going to go well for you. That Colossus club is going to come and shove its size 13 boots straight up your ass without you being able to do a thing about it. And that's exactly what happened. They looked shell-shocked. From the first 5 minutes of the game, Leicester looked absolutely shell-shocked. We pressed them down into oblivion. We were putting them under more pressure than something in skinny jeans, if you know what I mean. And it was not good. It was not good from a Leicester perspective. They could not deal with our press at all. We were very unlucky not to get a goal early on. Pirot actually had a big chance, and Somerville and Rutter were getting so much joy in that first half. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Yeah, Leicester, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. They did manage to have a little bit of possession, but when I say they didn't take us, or they took us for granted, and they probably didn't expect much out of us, it's because they were moving the ball around so slow. They were moving it around as if it was just going to be easy for them to pick us apart, as if all they had to do was play a few sideways passes and Leeds would just crumble. Leeds would just completely cave in. Leeds would just completely fold and falter and just allow them to push through. But realistically, that wasn't the case. Realistically, Leeds sat back at times, sat off them at times, and it was quite easy in the first half. If I'm being honest, Leicester were doing a lot of sideways action, a lot of backwards action, and not a lot of actual threatening action within our goal area. Like, literally, they had that one chance where they cut inside and hit the crossbar, but aside from that, pretty much nothing convincing, shown by their XG at the end of the game of like 0.15. But we're just talking about the first half alone here. And every time Leeds got the ball, on the other hand, there was a bit of intensity about our play. The counter-attack was quick, it was sharp, it was threatening. And it always came down to two men. And that was Rutter and that was Somerville. Oh my days, they were phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal yesterday. Every single time we got the ball, we drove at them with them two. And FaZe made about 2, 3, 4 last-ditch interceptions, lucky ones at that. With good interceptions, don't get me wrong, but last-ditch ones that could go either way. And if Somerville flicks it a little bit further this way, a little bit further that way, zigs when he should have zags, we're in there. And we get an easy goal, maybe an easy 2 goals in that first half. We ransacked them. They couldn't live with us. Their intensity wasn't as high as ours. Their energy wasn't as good as ours. They weren't as compact as us. They weren't as good at pressing as us. We dominated them in every single aspect of the pitch. Most specifically, the midfield. I'm hearing a lot of talk about Harry ain't slept no winks for 5 weeks. I'm hearing a lot of talks about Dewsbury Hall. Mate, he lost himself in the hall. He didn't get through the hall onto the pitch because I didn't see him out there. I tell you that for nothing. Ray Charles has a better chance of seeing him out on the pitch than any of us did. He was invisible. He was a ghost. Kamara had him in his back pocket. Oh my days, Dewsbury Hall, this, Harry Winks, that. They were absolutely dominated. Outclassed, outgunned, outshone. What a Swedish messiah. Kamara, Ampadu, strafing past them with ease, mate. It was just magical at times to watch Leeds in that midfield and going forward. The only thing I would say, I know people are going to get onto me. I know I sound like a broken record with this. The counter-attacks were good from Leeds. They were great. And like I said, it consisted of 2 men, Rutter and Somerville. But there lies my problem. Why is it consisting of only 2 players? Yes, it's working phenomenally with those 2 players. But there's no other option. Perot is not quick enough on the counter-attack. He's not getting into the right positions. He's just not. He had 8 touches in the first half alone. In that first half, I'm telling you, you have a player like Patrick Bamford on the pitch for all his, shall we say, his mishaps, for all his errors, for all of the fact that maybe he is less clinical than Perot. He does offer pace going forward. He does offer pressing ability. He does offer better positional awareness in those areas. He does offer an extra body going forward on that counter-attack. Someone who can drag FaZe out of position. Say he makes the run with Somerville. Rutter plays the ball out to the left to Somerville. Instead of FaZe coming across to challenge him, to take the ball off him, he suddenly has to drive himself into the middle to block Patrick Bamford because Patrick Bamford's dragging him across by making the run in there. Okay, he decides to leave Patrick Bamford and go over to Somerville like he did. Well, there you go then. Patrick Bamford is sat with free reign in the 18-yard box. And granted, yeah, maybe 5 times out of 10 he does sky it over the bar. But at least we're getting those 5 out of 10. You know what I mean? I think it would just work a lot more fluently with another player in there. I had to say it. I love Perot. I think he's a great guy. He's a great forward. He's a great finisher. It's just the system. You've got to ask yourself, what's more important, the player or the system? And I know we won, and I know everything's fine and dandy, but you've got to ask yourself, do you sacrifice Fark's system for Joel Perot, or do you sacrifice Joel Perot for Fark's system? That's the question. And if you're one of those guys that says, hey, you go with the quality of the player over the quality of the system, fair play. I can't argue with that. For me, I think you go with the system over the player. I think Guardiola has proved that over the past 4, 5, 6 years. As has my guy, Marcelo Bielsa. System over player for me, always. Hence is the only reason I would say potentially put someone else in there and things could work a lot better. But that's the only criticism I really have going forward for Leeds. That and the fact that I think we are overly reliant on Somerville and Rutter. And you see just the confidence from all of us drop the second Rutter comes off the pitch. The confidence drops a bit. I just didn't feel like we were as threatening. The only person I then looked to as any sort of threat going forward was Somerville. And when he got taken off as well, there was nothing. You know, Wilfred Nonto came on and he was non-existent. Yeah, he barely played. You know, he had 5 to 6, 7 minutes, but he was embarrassingly poor, if you ask me. And it's a shame to see, you know, with the player that he was. the player that we all thought he was and the player that he was last year to what he's performing like this year. It's a shame to see, but obviously, you know, like I said, I'm not going to be too harsh because he didn't have enough time on the ball. But listen, like I said, phenomenal performance. Leicester outgunned, outclassed. Aside from the last 15 minutes after we scored and we had the injuries and we took players off, that's when we got put under the cosh a little bit when we were holding on for the lead. And that's when Leicester had a little bit of joy and they were coming forward creating something. Aside from that, they didn't really threaten us at all. I thought we were by far ahead, the better team. Way, way, way the better team in that game. And I thought we thoroughly deserved the win. And if we didn't win, even if we drew, I think, you know, we've really screwed up there. We've messed up big time because we thoroughly deserved that win. For the performance we had, fucking phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I want to give a special shout out to two men. First of all, Jorginho Rutter. Phenomenal, as always. In fact, 4 men. I think 4 men deserve it. You got Mo Kamara, who got man of the match. Again, quality performance. I was speaking to my dad and my uncle. They were comparing him to Yaya Toure. I said, hey, calm it down, fella. You know, yeah, I see what you're saying. I like the guy. Yaya Toure, you know, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. He needs to add the finishing ability. He needs to add quality a lot more quality going forward before we start talking Yaya Toure kind of levels. But a great performance from him. You know, he holds the ball off well. He's got a good radar on him. He's good at holding on to the ball. He's a little bit Musa Sissoko-esque in that he's very hard to bounce off the ball. Obviously, not quite with the same level of footwork as Musa Sissoko, but it was a very good performance from him. I was very impressed with him. Meslier, with that amazing save at the end there. Didn't have too much to do for the rest of the game, but a quality save right at the end. Fantastic save right at the end. I don't know what Dean Smith was banging on about. Oh, I'd expect him to save that. No, that was a phenomenal save. All right. You know, hadn't had much to do the whole game. Bang! You'd expect Ayling to win that header. He doesn't win the header. He's leapfrogged over. The header comes. He's going in, top bins. Beautiful save. Beautiful reaction save. And for me, my 2 best players, as always, as they are, Summerville and Rutter. Listen, I know Summerville didn't score, but flipping hell, he got close. Flipping hell, he got close. There was one point where he skinned like 3-4 men, left-hand side of the pitch. Drove it in, whatever, played the little ball to Dan James instead of carrying on his run. And all game he was threatening. All game he was. All game Rutter was threatening. He scored, he got his goal from the corner, but all game he was dangerous. All game he was flicking those 1-2s with Summerville. Those two, again, phenomenal. When those two play together, it is chaos. Let me tell you, absolute chaos. And I love it. But let me know what you guys think anyway. Who's your man of the match? What did you guys think of the performance? Do you think that Leeds stand a chance of getting ourselves into the top 2? I don't think that Leicester and Ipswich, both of them at least, can carry on this run forever. I think Leeds will start to creep in, close the gap, and slide ourselves into that top 2. That's just a humble man's opinion. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. But for now, guys, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.